All right, what is going on, guys? Tomorrow is UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Brady. I'm actually excited for this Fight Night card. Cannot wait for a decent Fight Night card finally. We're getting decent pay-per-views, but we're not getting decent Fight Night cards. Okay. All right, I'm back. Just had to do a little deal. All right, let's get into this, though. So, starting off, the prelim opener of Guram Kutateladze versus Fernandez. Cow. I don't know. Maybe. I'm going Guram Kutateladze via hard-fought 29-28 close decision. He's pretty inactive. I think it was 2 fights ago. I thought, okay, this guy's got momentum. He's going to be something for the top 15 of that lightweight division. But in his fights, he just doesn't seem to impress me. His gas tank seems to be one of his biggest issues. So I'm going to go, I think he's going to win the first 2 rounds, lose the 3rd round. And just newsflash, I'm picking a lot of decisions after, upon doing my research for this card. Moving up the card. Nathan Fletcher versus Colin Loughran. I think that's how you say it. Colin Loughran. This one I kind of went back and forth a little bit. I am going to go Nathan Fletcher via decision. I think he's got the momentum on his side, and I think he's just a little bit more well-rounded than Loughran. I think that's how you pronounce it. So yeah. Again, some of these fights. Oh, yeah. Totally looking forward to this one. Shauna Bannon versus Humaj Tumar. This fight's garbage. Low-key, this fight's fucking trash. I think Bannon has 1 win in the UFC. I don't even remember who it was against. I think it was a split decision. Tumar, I was there for her UFC debut live, and complete robbery. She did not win that fight. I'm gonna go Shauna Bannon via decision. I'm not super confident in that pick. I think this is a coin flip, 50-50 fight. I think Tumar probably has a power advantage. Bannon has a pretty good reach advantage, and I think Bannon's going to try and just keep her at bay and pick her apart. But Tumar likes to go in and throw big swinging punches, so maybe she could clip Bannon and hurt her. Not looking forward to this fight at all. This is when you take your shit break. This fight. Moving up the card. Should be a decent men's middleweight fight. We have Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andre Pulieva. I'm going to call him Andre. I'm gonna go Christian Leroy Duncan. I know he lost in his last fight. I'm gonna go 3rd round TKO for Christian Leroy Duncan. He's kind of just decent everywhere. Doesn't have the best fight IQ at times. But I think in that 3rd round, he's gonna be putting it on Andre. And he's gonna get the 3rd round TKO. This fight piques my interest slightly. We have Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. And now this is another one. What are the odds? Tybura is the favorite. I didn't figure he would be. So you got Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. You have the veteran versus the up-and-coming contender. And I don't think Mick Parkin, I don't have his age pulled up, but I don't think he's that. I think he's 29 or something. Mick Parkin's going to keep it on the feet. Tybura is going to primarily look to grapple. So far in Parkin's career, he hasn't been able to be out-grappled. But then again, he's really not fighting that good a competition in the UFC. I mean, he's kind of fighting bottom-of-the-barrel heavyweights. Tybura's fighting, steps up in competition for sure. But he's old. He's like 38, 39 years old. I know at heavyweight, the older you are, you can still go longer at the higher weight classes. I'm still trying to figure out who I want to pick. Because my gut was Marcin Tybura. Then I kind of flopped back and forth, and I was going to pick Mick Parkin. For my official prediction, I'm going to go Mick Parkin via decision. I think Tybura is pretty hard to finish and get out of there. Not impossible. He's been finished before. But I think he doesn't rush things. And that's kind of where people try and rush and hurry up and get the finish on Tybura when they hurt him. I think if Parkin hurts him, he's not going to rush. He's going to take his time, choose his shots, and I think he's going to get the win over Marcin Tybura. But do not be surprised if Tybura can out-grapple him, get him down on the ground, and submit him. Don't be surprised if that happens. Moving up the card. Loner Kavanaugh versus Felipe Dos Santos. I can't pick Felipe Dos Santos. I know he came into the UFC on short notice versus Manel Kape. Looked pretty good in that fight. Had a competitive fight with Manel Kape on short notice. His last few fights, he's not looked good at all. He's just not looked good. He's interesting and fun and entertaining to watch. And he throws fun, cool, crazy combinations. But he's not done too well so far in the UFC. So I'm going to go Kavanaugh via decision. Dos Santos, I don't know if he's ever been finished. I can't remember. Has he been finished? I forget. I think it's going to be tough enough to stick it out and lose via decision. Maybe Dos Santos wins the first round, and then Kavanaugh wins rounds 2 and rounds 3. Moving up the card, we have Jai Herbert. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. This is another one. It's headlining the prelims. Why are you not working? It's headlining the prelims. You know, I think I'm going to change my pick on this. So, my initial pick was Jai Herbert. I switched it to Padilla. I even did it submitted on Tapology. That'll be a decision. I'm switching my official prediction to Jai Herbert first round TKO. Second round. Jai Herbert second round TKO. I'm switching it again. I think the reach and the height discrepancy is going to be too much for Padilla. I think Herbert is going to be able to keep the fight at range and find that KO shot or TKO shot. Should be a good fight. This should be a good fight. Moving up, another one. Good fight. We have Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrier. Stupid pick. I picked against him in his last fight. I just thought, I can't remember the guy's name. I thought he'd be able to get the back of Charrier and get the submission. Like, all of his wins were via submission, I think. Maybe one was not. 1 or 2 wins weren't via submission. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was Brazilian. But, so here's the thing. I think, on a technicality level, I think Nathaniel Wood is a better fighter. The problem, I think Charrier is too big for him. Pause. He can't handle the size of Morgan Charrier. Pause. So I think that's what this fight's going to come down to. I think the physicality advantage for Charrier is going to be too much for Nathaniel Wood, and he's going to lose via decision. Wood's hard to get out of there. And Charrier kind of has a record. He's at 20 wins and 10 losses. So he's kind of got that record where you're like, is he, kind of a coin flip, if you will. But I think, again, if Wood was a little bit bigger, I think I would pick Nathaniel to win. But in this case, I would be going Morgan Charrier via decision. Moving up. Yep. Jordan Vucini. I don't know if I'm saying, guarantee I'm not saying that right. Versus Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan in his last fight puts is it Blagioki? I think that was his name. Puts him out with a guillotine. He kind of, if I remember correctly, he just kind of goes for the takedown and puts his head in the guillotine, like most people do when they go for takedowns. Again, this fight, my initial prediction was Jordan. I'm kind of wanting to go with the underdog of Chris Duncan. He's kind of had a bag of mixed results in the UFC. Jordan came in, I can't remember who he fought on short notice. He took the fight on short notice, lost. Who was it? I don't remember who it was. I'm going to change my prediction, though. I'm going to be going Chris Duncan via rear naked choke. I don't know how he's going to do it. I think at some point during this fight, he's going to get the back of Jordan and get that rear naked choke finish. And then, who is he calling out? There's someone calling him out. I don't remember who it was. Was it Jared Gordon? I don't know. Someone was calling him out recently, and he said he needed to get through this guy first. So I'm going to go Chris Duncan via rear naked choke. Moving up, Poopy, Molly McCann versus Alexandria Theanara. I think I'm saying that right. Molly McCann's, she's garbage. She's not good. She's got knockout power. Could she land the shot to knock Alexia out? Yes, she could. Is that going to happen? I'm not betting on it. They're similar in size. Theanara has, oh dang, she's got a pretty big reach advantage. Who's the favorite? Oh, there's no odds. I'm going to go Theanara. Via decision. I think she's going to be able to out-grapple Molly McCann all 3 rounds. Unless Molly McCann gets submitted, she's really hard to put away. She can take the damage as far as strikes go. But yeah, so we're going to go Alexia Theanara via decision by out-grappling Molly McCann. Maybe Molly wins the first round and then starts to gas out. Here we go. We have Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. Okay, you guys know I picked Kevin Holland to beat Rainer de Ritter, and I said if he loses this fight, I will never pick Kevin Holland again. I'm thinking about picking Kevin Holland. I'm gonna explain why. I understand Nelson is on a win streak. Okay, it's not against the best level opposition, and the opposition Holland is losing to, for the most part, is higher level. I just don't know if I can pick him. I really don't. He's too inconsistent. I feel like he just doesn't care. Like, oh, if I lose, oh well. I'll just, I'll fight again here in a few more months. So I think how I see this fight going, if Nelson's going to win, I think he's going to win via submission. I don't see him just out-grappling Holland for 3 rounds and just winning with control. I think he's got a good enough submission game where he's going to go for it. He's going to get that submission. And for Kevin Holland, if he wins this fight, I see him knocking out Gunnar Nelson. I'm tempted to pick Kevin Holland via KO, TKO. But I think I'm going to have to stick. I mean, Nelson's 5'11", Holland's 6'3". 72-inch versus an 81-inch reach. Almost a 10-inch reach advantage for Kevin Holland. It makes me want to pick him. I know, like, the last time Nelson, who did he fight? Might have been Brian Barberena. I think he armbarred him or got a rear naked choke pretty quickly, but Barberena's not good. I think Kevin Holland would destroy Brian Barberena in a round as well. Okay. My initial prediction was Gunnar Nelson via rear naked choke in the first round. I'm going to regret this, but I'm picking Kevin Holland to win via first round KO TKO. I'm going to go the time off for Nelson, and I think Holland's better on the feet. Nelson does have a solid striking game, but I think Holland is a step above him, and I think he'll be able to... He knows his back's up against the wall in this fight, even though he pretends like it's not. He's not going to just keep getting these big opportunities, being on main cards of pay-per-views and fight nights, if he doesn't get some wins. So I think he's going to knock Gunnar Nelson out when Nelson's going in for a takedown. First round. I'm going to regret this. I know I am. Co-main event. Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. Super excited for this fight. Big fan of Jan Blachowicz. Ulberg's a decent favorite. Jan coming off that long layoff. He's shorter. Got a 1-inch reach advantage. Ulberg on a 6 or 7 fight win streak. His best opponent yet until he fights Jan Blachowicz will have been Volkan Ozdemir. Had a very competitive fight with Ozdemir. I'm going Jan Blachowicz via decision. I think Ulberg's going to be tough enough to stick it out all 3 rounds. I'm slightly worried about Blachowicz being a little rusty. I'm a little bit worried about that. And he's old. He's 42 years old. But I think the experience goes on Jan's side. The power definitely goes on Jan's side. I think the being more well-rounded is definitely in Jan's favor. I think Oldberg's best path to victory in this fight is to just outbox Jan, land the better shots, evade. He's not going to outgrapple Jan Blachowicz. He's not going to outleg kick Jan Blachowicz. So I'm going to go Jan Blachowicz be a decision, and I don't see why he's such an underdog. Yeah. I think it's going to be a pretty clear-cut decision for Jan. Moving up, main event. Another one I've went back and forth on. We have Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. As soon as this fight got announced, I was picking Sean Brady. And I still might pick Sean Brady. Then after I thought about it, Leon's been training for grapplers nonstop. Obviously, his last fight didn't go his way. He got out-grappled by Bilal Muhammad for essentially 5 rounds. 4 rounds, we'll call it. Brady lost to Bilal Muhammad, got finished via TKO. His last fight, Gilbert Burns, won very dominant decision. Clear-cut decision. Took this on somewhat short notice. I think it was about a month's notice. So he had about a 4-week training camp. He did say he was in the gym. So he should be in shape in theory. For my official prediction, I'm going to go Leon Edwards via 5th round TKO. I think he's going to do a lot of body work. Pause. To Sean Brady. Over the rounds, he's going to get the body shot TKO in the 5th round. Not super confident in that pick. I could see if Sean is really in the good shape like he says he is, and he can implement similar game plans to Usman before he got knocked out, and to Bilal, where he can just nonstop grapple Leon, get him taken down and control him. I think he could even submit Leon if he gets him to the ground. So I'm picking Leon Edwards, 5th round, body shot TKO. I think I'll be able to evade the grappling of Sean Brady. I think Brady's just not on that level that Usman and Bilal are. So I think Edwards will be able to negate the grappling, keep the fight standing, keep the distance, and do the fight like he wants to do. Who do you guys think's going to win in the main event? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to hit to 1,000 subscribers this year. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.